G'day and welcome to Sweetwater Distilling Australia. It's the 8th of the 1st, 2025. So another year and another coffee. Big day today. Excuse me. My last video, I did my stripping run and I took out a few bottles of some nice spirit, 300ml bottles, starting off at 84% ABV, going down to 80, about 78. That's a little bit less because I had a couple of little nips of that, and it was real hooch, that's for sure. Then I shut it down and I just went down to the Sweetwater. That comes up at about 35 in that bottle, which is a litre, and then again probably about 400 mils on top of that, so about 1.4 litres at I don't know, 35, 40 or something like that. But I'm going to use that Sweetwater, as I do, to break the other higher percentages down to 40. Gets me a little bit more volume out of it, and this one here has a really, because it was from a Dunder, excuse me again, terrible night last night, sleepless night. My wife gets up at 4 a.m. off to work sometimes, and Wednesday morning is one of them, and I don't get a lot of sleep that night, on Tuesday nights I should say. Anywho, so I'll break these ones down during the course of the day today. So I do have, like I said, I do have a big day. My charcoal filter system, which we've been through before, is being broken down at this present time and being refitted. I found that the filtration system I had at the bottom of the other one to stop the charcoal from pouring out, it was good, but it wasn't secure, and it popped off. So I've made a new one, and this one is going to be, now the other one was just a slip-on fit, you know, these PVC, like a water pipe, whatever the case may be. So these will be secured by PVC cement, except for, of course, the screw-on fit, which I'll run a little bit of that plumber's tape, Teflon tape, around the top and around the thread, and of course my valve. Now I am making 2 units. I've got the other one started. I'm still working on that. I've got to put the new spigot in the bottom of this one, and get all this one cut up to size and what have you, so it's the same size as the other unit. Now that one there is going to have some medium in there that's going to filter out some of the solids that I get in my distillations after the distilling process is done. And it's usually, I get a little bit of, I don't know what you want to call it, matter, with my, from the staves and what have you. Sometimes I might do a little bit of flavouring or something like that. So this filtration system is going to remove the solids from that. Then it'll go over into the carbon filter one more time. If there's no solids in the liquid, it'll go straight through to the carbon filter. But I do find, like for instance, when I took out the last of the 35, I don't know, 30, 35, 40, whatever it was, out of that last run, there's a little bit of cloudiness in there. So I'm going to run that through the new medium first before I hit the charcoal filter. Just see how it goes. I just want to play with it, see how things travel. I'm just going to move that around. Sorry about the vibration. good vibrations. And yeah, so that's what I'm toying around with today. And of course I'm going to dress them up with a nice coat of silver zinc, you know, look sexy. But anyway, I'm going to put another batch of Dunder in. Now this is another batch of Dunder I have. Now this is the Dunder from the corn and oat. The one below it was where I removed the all the solids. I ended up with I don't know, several litres or pounds or whatever you want to, not pounds, kilos of solids. Now that's been sitting in there since January 1. This one's only been in here since the 4th, but it was percolating away for a few days quite profusely. So I thought, well, I might crack it and see what I can get out of it. I'd like to start a couple of more fresh runs for the new year, so I'm just going to get these down. I don't have, like I said, I mentioned before, I don't have too many running. You know, I'm not a production line. I'm in it for the fun, not the glory, not the volume in that respect. So I usually have about, I don't know, 3 buckets going, and I can tinker around with those in between my household chores, which I've just done. The laundry. I know there's another famous YouTuber out there that has something to do with the laundry. Can't remember his name now. Anywho, that's what happens when you're a house husband. Cheers. Okay, so we're going to crack this big, oh Jesus, Moses, Mary and Joseph. That's a big sucker. Now what I'll do is I'll run through the estimated volumes and the processes. Big shout out to Good Sir Burger. He asked me if I could just, you know, a little bit of fine tuning on the processes of what I do, including the volumes. So happy to do that. Like I said earlier on in my YouTube career, which is about a month, that I'm in it for the fun. I don't get too technical. That's just the way I like to do things, because there are so many channels out there, which I do appreciate, because I've learnt so much. Well, I think I have from the professionals, or the connoisseurs, if you'd like to call them that. Yep, I won't save that. A bit too long. We'll crack this one open. Ooh. And see what we got. Oh yeah. You can smell that, you can smell the corn and the oat. It's got a pleasant smell to it. Yeah. This should turn out yummy. Okay, so what we're going to do is break this down a little. It's got a bit of sludge hanging around the top, but I don't really want to disturb it. I presume that a lot of the solids are going to be sitting on the bottom. It's been sitting there for 4 or 5 days. Seems longer for some reason. I don't know. Maybe it's just old age. Everything gets faster and faster. Getting closer to the burn pile. Okay, so what I'll do is knock this one down into a bucket, dealyzer. See how we go. Just ease that one into there. Now, one thing I did want to mention while I'm tipping this one out is I take it that you've all noticed that I breathe quite fast, pant a lot. I had like 4 or 5 heart attacks one each day for 5 days until I realised I was having a heart attack. And then I think, oh shit, I better get an ambulance, and I did. I ended up in hospital and getting some stents in the old ticker. And then a couple of years later, ended up with about stage 3 bowel cancer. And they cut a 10 centimetre long, it's about 4 inches long tumour out of the transverse in the large intestine. So they took the whole freaking thing, left with just a small one, which is causes havoc. Anyway, that's enough of that crap. Let's get into the serious stuff. We'll get an idea. This is a 10 litre bucket, so it's going to give me an idea of the volume. Just got to be careful of all that crap in the bottom doesn't sneak up on me. I don't want to pour too much of that in there. There's a bit there. Wow, I didn't realise that there was that much slurry sitting around in the bottom. I might have to, I might let that one settle, and I might do a second run with that one. Let's try it out. So anyway, I've got the good stuff there, so let's leave that one. Pop him down, just put that on there so we don't get any bugs crawling around in there. Keep the little blighters out. Put him up there. I might do that one tonight. Let's see how we go. So yeah, so this is a 10 litre bucket, and I would presume that there's 7. I say there's about 7 litres in there. Now, and it looks quite nice. A little bit of head on that, like a nice cold beer. Just get some of that. If there's any, there's. I'll just bring you over here just so you can have a bit of a squeeze. So a little bit of head coming up on that. Just flatten that one out a little bit, and we'll see how we go. There we go. Better than being at the movies, eh? So we'll give that a bit of a churn. So okay, so 7 litres in the stripping run with the previous rum, the rum Dunder that I had. There was probably about 8 litres in that bucket, and I ended up with 3 litres after the stripping run. And then after the stripping run, I ended up with a litre of good quality alcohol up in the 80s, and then of course 1.4 litres of down there in the 30 range, mid 30s or something to that effect. So I still ended up, after that litre or 3 litres, I still ended up with a couple of litres of good quality liquor out of that, which of course I will decant later on today. So let's get that one there. That's nice and churned up, and I would normally use a settling agent in there, but with the experience I had with the last corn and oat wash, I went through the process over 3 days, and it didn't really do much for it. It was probably too heavy, but anyway, let's move forward, I'll tip this one into the kettle and yeah, see how we go. Get that in there. Oh yeah, you can smell it. You can actually smell the fermentation. It's basically, you can smell, you've got that odour. You can smell the alcohol in that one. Yeah, definitely. So that one's brought me up to, now I'll get a Sharpie over here, excuse me for disappearing, and a Sharpie, and I'll just do a guesstimate on where my level is. Now mind you, this is a 19 litre vessel. The Chinese said that it was a 21 litre, and then in some of their promotions, in the same promotions, they said it's 19 litre. I believe more it's a 19 litre than it is a 21 litre. It's like, anyway, back over here we go. So I'm on the third one down, the third stripe down. I'll clean the other ones off as we get moving along. Now plug the power into my little Chinese cooker, and I'm going to crank that up to 5, and then I'll hit max once we start getting up around the boiling temperature. As the temperature rises, I'll crank the water up. So I'll lock it down, and I'll be back in a minute with an update on the temperatures. Okay, so we've caught up to some temperatures. We're sitting on about 84 degrees Celsius. So I assume that we're going to be getting a little bit of tricklation out of the jar or into the jar. So I'm just going to hit the chiller, fire that up, get some cool water action, switch on the temp. Water temperature presently is 27 degrees Celsius, and just for old time's sake, 81 degrees Fahrenheit. There we go. So hopefully that will probably won't get above 33 degrees Celsius. I've mentioned before that the pumps, they're those submersible pumps that you put in, I suppose, fish tanks and garden fountains and what have you. I've just utilised a couple of those that I've had over the years, and they're working well. I've just been, the room smells of aerosol paint at the moment. I've just done my carbon filter, cut it down a little bit because the actual tank itself was going to take like 8 litres, maybe 10 litres, and I'm not going to produce that much grog in one go to be filtered, and even if I did, I'd probably do it in 2 batches anyway. So I've cut it down to size, cut it down to half. It just makes it a little bit easier to manage, because the head of the unit was sitting at about just over 6 feet, which is up there. I'm 5'9" and a pewed, and yeah, and it goes down to, of course, it goes down to the spigot, which sits probably about maybe 350 mil off the floor, which is a nice size for the jar to fit in underneath a bucket, what have you, for cleaning purposes. So I've just tidied that one up, and then I'll start on my my secondary unit maybe later on today, or the next couple of days at least. So anyway, yeah, so we've got the water fired up, and I'll just bring you over and let you have a little bo peep at the cooling system again. We've got the water coming in, and of course this pipe at the front here, this is the pickup that's going to take it back around to the cooling unit. This is the outlet bringing it back into the condenser, and of course the overflow. Now that overflow really is the keeper of the whole thing. It keeps the water level. Now my water level is down here at the moment. I'll add a little bit to it, but we're still in the funky zone, as it were, because what happens is the heat here at the moment, summer in the southern hemisphere, is especially in the tropics here of Queensland, or subtropics if you want to call it that. We get a lot of evaporation. Here we go, we're travelling up to, we're just shy of the 90 degrees. I don't know if you can see that because of the light, but yeah, so we're in action. I might crank this up to max now, as it is a stripping run. That will speed up the process, and yeah, we'll see what magic happens. So what we get coming out of there. I'll hit the AC once this temperature gets up to about 30, which is on 28 at the minute. Once it gets to 30, I'll hit the AC, and of course the AC will fill this pipe up with cold air. It'll come flooding in over the top through the inlet pipe, which is the tube going through the centre of the cooling chamber, and it splays out like a shower. And of course that cold air is just going to blast over the top of it, bring the temperature down, and yeah, it does the job. I'm happy with that. Okay, so here we go. We have our first product coming out, which will be the 4 shots. So what I'll do is I'll move over to a yep, one of them, if I can find one. That'll do. Smaller unit, just so I can get a good idea of what I'm throwing out to the wolves. Not really. That's just me crapping on. So yeah, we want out of that. So we got 7 litres out of there. So I'm going to take I'll take the 300 mils out, which is roughly that much, equivalent to about that. I'll take that out and I'll add it to the collection of liquids I've got. I keep all this, and yeah, so you just got to be so careful, you know. Don't yeah, don't cheat just for the sake of, you know, a couple more shots or something like that. Get rid of it, you know. Like if you don't want to keep it as a cleaner, use a, I don't know, a weed killer. And by the looks of what's coming out of here now, there's going to be yeah, a little bit of liquid gold coming out of that. So I'll wait till that hits the 300 ml mark. I'll turf that, and okay. So I've just got rid of the methanol. It's in the collection jar. Our temperature's got to 32 degrees Celsius. So we're going to hit the AC. Get that fired up. and I'll be pumping into there in a second. The temperature, room temperature presently is 27 degrees Celsius, which is sort of 80 Fahrenheit-ish, something like that. So I'm just going to set the chilling temperature. We're going to run it, we've got it down to, so it's going to chill the air down to, coming up through here, down to 20-ish. I'm going to knock it down to, so I'll keep it about 20, 19, 20. The cold air coming out of there is very nice. And this little funnel device that I've got going on here is still, I'll just bring you over and let you have a little look at this. The funneling device, as you can see from the AC, now the AC is coming out, pumping the cold air up, goes over the top and down across that shower of water. There's the tank level just below it, just here. The cold air exhaust is coming out here, and I'm making the most of that by channeling that over the top of the water. Now it was coming out of this little flattened out snorkel piece that I had left over from the AC extension pipe that you would normally funnel your cold air out through a sliding window in the house, because it's a portable AC. And I just chucked a bit of PVC on there, so it's channeling that cold air back right onto the water surface, yeah, seems to help a little bit. It's doing the job. Now temperature's gone up to 33, as you can see there, up to 33 degrees Celsius. That should actually come down with the AC. So let's hope my theory's right. It has worked before. Then again, you know, Murphy's Law, when you want it to work, to prove to somebody else, the shit hits the fan. That one. Whoop, right there. Anyway, so we've picked up 200 mils of liquid gold, and I might just have a little taste test. Where's my my shotty? Got a bit of a setup. A bit dusty, and I'll just let that tricklate into there. Now I did mention the other day I was going to do a vinegar run on this system, give it a good flush out, which I'll do probably tomorrow. I just wanted to just get this run going for, especially for Good Sir Burger. He went to the trouble to leave a comment, and he asked the question. So, you know, he who asks gets an answer, one way or the other. Anyway. The alcohol I picked up yesterday off the old rum run. I put it all together in a 1 litre jar. I've just done a alcometer test on that, and that comes in right on the meniscus of 80 ABV, right smack on it. So what I'm going to do, besides this, yum yum, back in there. Now that's a 1 litre jar. What I will do is I'm just going to use a little bit of Sweetwater. Now while we're just doing this, I mean, chop it and change it, but anyway, this is the Dunder from the rum, the last of that. That is the stripping run of the corn and oat whiskey. This is the rum. So what I'll do is I'll just put a little bit of Sweetwater and bring it up to the 1 litre mark. Give it a bit of a churn around. Tip that back into our test unit. Oh geez, oh my god, there's at least half a shot there. Like that. Anyway, I shouldn't be so anxious about getting things done. As I say, slow and steady wins the race. Now that Sweetwater has brought that down to 68 ABV. Still very good. I'll put that back in there. Like that. That's just like, oh. I tell you what, in a few years, if I'm still alive, I'm going to take the top off this bench. I've got a I don't know, 13mm ply slab on top of a 19mm pine sheet, and the ply sheet, if I cut this section out, I might be able to make some staves out of that. You never know. Anyway, so I've got a litre, and that's only just taken that down by just a smidgen. So what I'll do is I'll just stand by, and I'll just grab a bigger unit. Here we go. There's a 3 litre vessel. Here we go. All in. Okay. That's better. Now, if I about 300 mils to that. The aim is to bring it down to about 40. And let's see how we go. Yeah, 54 on the Richter scale. I can taste that on the back of the palate just by smelling it. $54 it is. That's nice. That is really nice. Yeah. So that is going to stay at 54. Where are you, my trusty Sharpie? 54. ABV. I'm going to do something really nice with that, I think. That will, yeah. I like that. Now, where are we? With the stripping run. The stripping run, we've picked up another 650 out of that. The colour's still pretty good in the stripping run. So we'll just move that over there. Shame I didn't leave myself some of that. But anyway. Now, I'll actually, excuse me, just chuck that in there. Like I said, I mean, it came out and it was very much like a wine. Now, don't forget, that's just the stripping run. So I'm sure that I will get I think that's it. I think that's it. That is starting to that's starting to come down to very very diluted. So what I'll do, I'll mix that with the first collection of the stripping run, and this will be our cut with litre-ish, I think, litre of, just chuck that in there, and I know that's a litre jar. Okay, so just a cube shy of a litre. That will bring, I'll bring that up to, yeah. Now that's a 2.25 litre jug, that one. So I would say 2.5 litres that this is going to put into the mix for the cut, which I will be doing this afternoon. The cut of the last of the corn and Dunder. Now don't forget, I still have, well, it's not the last, I still have a chug left in here. So there's a possibility that I'm going to get very similar out of that. I'm just wondering whether I should actually do that. I might do that. I'll do that before I do the cut. And then we'll just have one cut and I'll have a good volume in the kettle and we'll take it from there. So far I will leave it with that. But before I do, I can't help myself. You know, it's like when you're on a good thing, stick to it. Well, that's what I reckon anyway. Is I'll just take a little bit out of that, maybe a smidgen more, and tuck that away. Cheers! I hope everybody is doing well. That's not bad. That's pretty good for a rum. The Dunder from a rum, and I still picked up, I would say in that jar, I would say a litre and a half out of that. So considering that you've got a 700ml bottle, I would say that I've got 2 bottles of some very nice rum out of that. I might do something with it, I'm not too sure. Leave some comments. I hope you enjoyed this video. Stay frosty.